Good morning to all. Right. In the last class, I have discussed about the conditional statements. I think you all can share the screen, right? You all can view the screen, right? Right. Okay. What are the conditional statements? Conditional statements are if, else, else if, right? Where we can use these conditional statements, we can use the conditional statements to check whether the condition is true or false. What are the outputs we can get? Just we can get a true or false from the condition. So the data type is Boolean, right? Now we can see how if else and else statements are working, right? See here, this is the example of the if statement. You can see this is the statement and this is the statement. If the condition is true, right, we are going to check the condition. So if the condition is true, that means if the condition is true in this way, if the condition is true, the statement will be executed. If the condition is false, this statement will be executed, right? Finally, the condition is true, the statement will be executed and it will run rest of this code. The condition is false, this statement will be executed. After that, the rest of the statement will be executed, right? This is the diagram of the if statement, right? If else statement. But the thing is, if it is single if statement, it will execute only the true part, right? You can see the syntax here. If condition statement, condition statement. This is if statement. If the condition is true, this single if statement will be execute only the true part. It won't execute the false part, right? For example, see, var marks equal 50, right? What I'm doing here, I'm just assigning 50 to this marks, right? I'm going to check the result of the student. If marks greater than or equal 50, marks is greater than or equal 50, right? Document dot write, pass, right? What is the output here? It will print pass. What is the reason to that? Because the condition is true. That's why the true part will be executed, right? Right. We can do this one as practical. If the condition is true, then the statement will be executed. For example, marks is equal 50. If marks greater than or equal 50, that means if the condition is false, this statement will be executed. Otherwise, this statement won't be executed. Right now, marks is 50. That's why condition is true because of this equal, greater than or equal. Right? If I put greater than only, this statement won't be executed. Okay, because the condition is false, because marks is 50. I'm checking whether the marks is greater than or equal 50. That's why this condition is false. So this statement won't be executed. Okay, this is single if statement, right? Now see the if else statement, condition of the if else statements. If condition statement, Statement 1, right? Then else means what? If the condition is false, right? If the condition is false, statement 2 will be executed. Statement, right? If the condition is true, statement 1 will be executed. If the condition is false, else means false, statement 2 will be executed. So I'm going to convert this same program to if-else statements. See that here. If, right, marks greater than 70 or 60, right? Document dot write pass. Else document dot write fail. Right? See here. So as per the syntax, you can see here, if the condition is true, statement 1 will be executed. If the condition is false, statement 2 will be executed. Here see the marks is what? 50. What I'm checking here, if the marks greater than 60, that means if the condition is false, but this condition is not, if the condition is not true, that means if this condition is false. So the output will be what? Document.write fail statement will be executed. So output will be fail because this condition is false. So if I put 50, what will happen? Now also this condition is false because the marks is 50, not greater than 50, that is 50. That's why the else statement will be executed. Now if I put the equal here, the first statement will be executed, pass. Okay, so that is this. You can see this one in the diagram. The condition is true. Here you can check the condition. If this condition is true, this statement will be executed. If this condition is false, this statement will be executed. After this condition or statement executed, the rest of the program will be executed. Okay, right? So okay, so this is if statement and the if else statement. Here you can see, right, if you want to check more than one condition, right, with the single if statement, you can check only one statement. This will be execute only the true part, right? The second one, if else statement, this will execute true part and false part, but here you can't check more than one condition, right? If you want to check more than one condition, how can we check this one? See this one here, we can use if else statement for that also, but if condition 1, right, condition 1, then statement 1, statement 1, okay, right. Then else means what? If the condition 1 is false, what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to directly execute another part. Instead of executing the other part, I'm going to check another condition. That means if the condition 1 is false, I'm going to check another condition. If condition 2 is true, right, then statement 2 will be executed. Condition 1, statement 1 will be executed. If condition 2, statement 2 will be executed. If condition 2 also falls, again I am going to check another condition else. If condition 3, right, statement 3. Statement 3. Again, if the third condition is false, I am not going to check any other condition. I'm going to execute another statement directly. Can you understand this? If condition 1 is true, the statement 1 will be executed. If the condition 1 is false, that means this else. If the condition 1 is false, then this will check condition 2. If the condition 1 false only, this will check condition 2. Right? Then if the condition 2 also false, that means if the condition 1 and the condition 2 also false, then this will check the third condition. If the condition 2 is true, statement 2 will be executed. Suppose if condition 1 and condition 2 also false, this will check condition 3. If condition 3 is true, then statement 3 will be executed. Suppose if the condition 1, condition 2 and condition 3 are false, statement 4 will be executed. This is what we call if-else statement, right? Say for example, see here, if you want to check marks greater than 75, you have to give the grade A. Marks greater than 65, you have to give the result B. Marks greater than 55, give the result as C. Right? Again, if it is 45, give the result as S. If less than 45, give the result as fail. Less than 45, fail. Just try this one. Using this statement, using this conditional statement, try to get the result like this. I'll give you 10 minutes time. Just try this program, and again, I will explain you how to do this one, right? So just try, whether it is right or wrong, just try to get, just try to get this result, right? Okay. So start to write. And the students, I don't know why you are leaving from the class. If you leave the class, you won't get the certificate. Keep it in mind, right? If you attend the class fully, only you can get the certificate. Otherwise, you will get problem when you get the certificate. And also, you can't get a full knowledge, right? You're coming and leaving, you won't get the full knowledge, right? So keep this in your mind. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Right. See the screen here. Var marks is var means what is var? It is a keyword we can use to declare the Java variable in JavaScript, right? So var marks is a variable name. Just I am creating a variable to assign the marks. I'm assigning 60 to the marks. What type of variable is this? Integer variable, right? Then if marks greater than or equal 75, what I'm doing here, just I'm checking whether the marks is greater than or equal 75. If this condition is true, then the statement will be executed. The result will be grade A. If this condition is false, that means if it is not greater than 75, then this will check whether this one is greater than 65 or not, right? If it is greater than 65, the result will be grade B. But if it is not even greater than 65, then this will check whether it is greater than 55 or not. If it is greater than 55, then the grade will be C. If it is not greater than 55, then again this will check whether it is greater than 45 or not. Right? If it is greater than 45, then the grade will be S. If it is not greater than 45, then there is no any condition to check, right? Then directly we have to go for fail part, right? So the result will be fail. Okay. Hereafter, I'm not going to check any condition, right? So if you are not going to check any condition, you can directly put else statements, right? So the marks is greater than 75, this condition is true, the statement will be executed. The first condition is false. If the first condition is false, then this will check the second condition. If the second condition also false, then this will check third condition. If the first condition, second condition, and the third conditions are false, then this will check another condition, fourth condition, right? Okay. Shall I ask the questions because you are coming and going? That's why I'm going to select the students and going to ask the questions if you do like this. Right? The meaning of that one, if you are leaving the class and coming, the meaning of that one is you fully understand the concept, right? That's why you won't just skipping the class. So I'm going to ask the questions one by one. You have to answer the questions. If you want to go, just skip the class and go fully. They don't come after that, right? Okay, see here. Any doubts so far? Anything else to ask? Anything else to ask? If you have any questions, please ask me.
No, miss.
No. What about other students?
Miss,
Yeah.
I have one more question. The var marks, we can use any marks, right?
Any marks, yes. Yeah, instead of this 60, you can assign any marks.
Okay, miss. Just I try 50 marks. That's why I asked.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's okay. If it is 50, what is the result you will be get?
I just try, miss, but it's not correct.
Yeah, that's okay. You are correct. Just I am asking, yeah, right? If I change this one as 50,
Yes.
what is the result? What is the result you will be get?
If there's 75 marks, it's going to.
No, your marks is 50, no? So what is
Yes.
the result you will get? If your marks is 50, what is the result you will get? The first condition is false, right? If it is
yes,
50,
second also false.
False. Yeah. Third also
Third
false.
also false, and fourth one.
Fourth one. So you will get what? That S.
Grades.
Grade S. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Okay, miss. Thank you so much.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay. Right. Another questions. So same like this, right? So you have to try this one also, right? Assign the unit price. Unit price. Unit price means the price of the product, right? You can assign any price, unit price. Then assign the number of units, how many units you are going to purchase, right? You can assign any value to this. Then calculate the total. Already I have done this one, anyway, total, right? Then here, and you have to find the discount. Discount, right? Discount, you have to find the discount based on the condition, right? If the total greater than 5,000, you have to give 5% discount of the total. Okay. Then if total greater than 4,000, calculate 4% discount. Don't put 4%, 5%, you have to calculate the discount, right? Okay, 4%, right. Then total greater than 3,000, calculate 3% discount. Total greater than 2,000, calculate 2% discount. If it is less than 2,000, discount is 0, right? Can you understand the question? You have to find the value for the unit price. Unit price means price of the product, right? Then number of units, how many units you are going to purchase. Then you can calculate the total. How can you calculate the total? Unit price into number of units. Based on this total, you have to calculate the discount, right? If this total greater than 5,000, calculate 5% discount. If the total greater than 4,000, 4% discount. If it is greater than 3,000, calculate 3% discount. If it is greater than 2,000, calculate 2% discount. Less than 2,000, calculate 0% discount, right? Try this one. Okay. How many of you finished this one? Right. See here. var, you have to assign the variable called var unit price is equal, say, 100 or 10. Number of units is equal, say, 500. Var number of unit is equal 500. Then var total is equal what? Unit price into number of units. Multiplication operator. Discount, we have to calculate the discount based on the condition, right? Initially, I'm assigning the discount as 0. Then based on this condition, I'm going to calculate the discount. Okay, right. If marks, if total, right? Based on the total, I'm going to calculate the discount. So total greater than, what is my first condition? If it is greater than 5,000, to calculate the discount, right? So discount is equal, discount equal 5%, right? So the total into 5% percentage, right? Divided by 100. Okay, so this is the discount. Okay, then else if, that means if it is not greater than 5,000, you have to check the next condition, whether it is greater than 4,000 or not. Okay, right. So 4% discount. Then you have to calculate whether it is greater than 3,000 or not. Then calculate the discount, that is 3%. Then 2,000. Discount is what? 2%. Right? Finally, the discount is 0. Right? But here you won't get any output because you didn't display anything here, right? I didn't display anything here. So finally, I'm going to display one by one. Document dot write unit price equal. If you want to join, you have to use plus mark, right? Unit price is equal the variable unit price. So this will print unit price is equal 10, right? Then I'm going to add the line break also. For the line break, you can use BR. Same thing you have to do to display other things also. Unit price, number of units. Number of units is equal n of units. Okay, then total is equal, all the variable total. Then discount is equal So this is how you have to, first of all, what you want to do, you have to write the, you have to declare the variable for the calculations. So here there are 4 variables: unit price, number of units, total, and the discount, right? You have to calculate the total and the discount, right? But discount based on the condition. Total greater than 5,000, discount is this. If it is not greater than 5,000, then this will check whether it is greater than 4,000 or not. If it is not greater than 4,000, this will check the condition again, whether it is greater than 3,000 or not. If it is 3,000, if it is greater than no equal 3,000, then this will be the discount. If it is not greater than 3,000, then this will check whether it is greater than 2,000 or not. Even if it is not greater than 2,000, there won't be any discount. Discount is 0. Then finally, you can print 1 by 1. Okay. Any doubts so far? Any questions to ask? Right. Okay, now see here the next program. This also if statement, right? See here, the script language is equal JavaScript. You have to write this one to start the JavaScript. Before you write the JavaScript coding, you have to instruct the browser. You are going to write the JavaScript. So this is the starting tag of the JavaScript. You already know. Ending tag of the JavaScript. Here var variable age is equal prompt. What is prompt? What are the dialog boxes in JavaScript? I have explained you already. First one is alert box, right? Alert box, to get the alert, it will be displayed only with the OK button, right? Then confirmation box. Confirmation box, we can use the confirmation dialog box to get the confirmation from the end user. This will be displayed with the OK and the cancel button. If you press OK, you can do something. If end user press OK, end user can go to one option. If they press cancel, they can go to another option, right? The next one is prompt box. By using the prompt box, you can get the input from the end user, right? What I'm doing here, just I'm assigning the variable. I'm assigning the value of the variable as fixed. I'm not getting the variable from the end user, right? Here, if you want to get data from the end user, you can get the prompt box. Prompt, please enter your age, right? Then, if end user enter the age, then this age variable will get that value, right? Then they can check, you can check if age is greater than 18, document.write, you are an adult, right? If age less than 18, this statement will be displayed. You are not an adult, right? Shall we try this one? Okay, you can try it here. See, this is the prompt box, right? Because of this, the first statement, prompt, please enter the age, right? You can see here, please enter the age. Please enter your age, right? I'm going to enter 20 as my age, right? Then I'm going to press OK, right? If I enter the 20, the condition is true, right? Because my age is greater than 18. So the condition is true. Then this will print you are an adult, right? Okay. Here you can see the output. You are an adult. Okay. And again, if I run, say I'm going to enter my age as 15. And this 15. Right. See here. New. Save as. Please enter your age. Say 20. You are an adult, right? You are not an adult because I didn't enter anything. So if I enter 20, you are not an adult, right? Then if I enter 30, output, you are an adult. Okay, see the coding here. Again, var age, just getting the age from this prompt box, right? Then if age is greater than 18, this result will be executed. If age is not greater than 15, this result will be executed. Okay, so this is the first program. And then go to the second program. These are the result, right? Based on, right. Okay, then see here. Right. Age 18, okay. Second one, script language, you can use this one also. You can use script language is equal JavaScript also correct. Or else you can write script type is equal text to JavaScript. Instead of this type keyword, you can write language also. Both are correct, right? Don't get confused. Then there is a function, small function in JavaScript to get the current hours, right? This is the function, the default function you can use as it is to get the hours. New date function dot get hours. This is the function you have to use as it is without any changes to get the hours and assign the hours to hours variable, right? Then if hours greater than 12, good morning. Then if it is not greater than 12, good afternoon, right? Just a two statement with the if condition. If it is before 12, this will print good morning. If it is after 12, this will print good afternoon, right? Good morning. Why? Why good morning? What's the time now? 10:03, right? That's why the output is good morning. Right? See, instead of these, what I'm doing is alert, right? Alert hours. I'm going to alert the hours, right? Okay, right. See here, right? Now the time is 10. So it will display just 10. Then it will print good morning. Okay. Can you understand this? Any questions so far? Can you understand this? The function, then this function to get the time. What's the time now? Then alert the time. Then if it is before 12, this will print this. If it is after 12, this will print this. Any questions? Yeah, ask me.
No, miss.
Okay. Right, fine. Okay. Right. Then next one. Right. See this example. var one, just a variable to get a number from enter the first number, right? Using from box, they are getting two numbers and assigning these two numbers in these two variables, right? So the one is this, two is this, get two numbers from the end user, and then 1 is equal pass int 1. What is this pass int 1? Right. If this will ask enter the first number, then you will enter the first number, right? Right. When you enter the first number, it will take that number as text, not integer, right? That means text means what? String. So if you want to do the calculation, you have to convert this one as integer. To convert the text as integer, you have to use this function, pass int. Can you understand what is pass int? We can use this pass int to convert the text as integer, right? So when you enter the first number and the second number, the output will be the text, not the integer number, right? Then we are going to do the calculation. That's why we have to convert these two variables as integer. So we have to use what? Pass int, and then convert the 1 as integer, then assign it again to this variable. Now this 1 and 2 are integer variable. Initial 1 and 2 are the string variable. Then after convert that variable to string, the 1 and 2 are the string integer variable, right? Then what they are doing is, if 1 is equal to 2, both numbers are equal. Why this double equal here? Because that is logical operator. You are checking the condition, right? Not assigning any value here. Just you are checking the condition. That's why you have to use double equal here, logical operator, right? So if 1 and 2 are equal, both are equal, then this will print document.write 1 is equal to 2. Else if, right? Else if. That means if 1 and 2 are not equal, this will check 1 is greater than 1 is less than 2 or not, right? If 1 is less than 2, then this will print 1 is less than 2. Then else if 1 is not less than 2, automatically the 1 is greater than 2, right? But is this program just compare the two numbers, get two numbers and compare the two numbers, which one is greater than, which one is greater than. Okay, so can you understand this? Any questions? So you are going to write the same you are going to convert this program, or you are going to use this program method to convert the discount program, right? You have to get the unit price from the end user. Don't assign the value, unit price. So prompt, you can ask enter the unit price, right? Then prompt, you can ask number of unit. Then you can convert these two variable, unit price and the number of unit. Then you can do the calculation same like this, right? First of all, I'll run this one. Then you have to convert the unit price program same like this. Okay, see here. Right. We enter the first number. Say my first number is 10. Then okay, it's asking enter the second number. My second number is 20. Right, okay. So what is the output? 10 is less than 20. Correct, right? 10 is less than 20. Because the first condition is not true, then this will check 1 is less than 2 just because This condition is true, right? Because 10 is less than 20. So the output will be 1 is less than 10 is less than 20. Right? Shall we check with another number? The first number is 4. Second number is 2. The output will be 4 is greater than 2. That also correct, right? Then I'm going to enter my first number as 2. Second number also 2. So the 2 is equal 2. Right? So can you understand this? Do I want to explain it again? Right. Okay. Start to convert the discount program to right? Okay. Try to convert this one. The discount, get the unit price from the end user and get the number of unit from the end user. Then convert the unit price and number of unit as integer. Then again, calculate the total and then use the if statement to print this one. Okay, start to do. Right. Right. We have to convert this program. Right. What we want to do is we have to assign two variable, right? var unit price equal, I'm going to get unit price from the end user. So prompt, enter the unit price. Okay. Then var2 no units, number of units. Prompt, enter the enter how many units you are going to purchase. Right. This is the second one. Right. Then based on that, we have to, then what we want to do is we have to convert these two as integer, because number of units and the unit price are text when we get the value from the end user. So pass int, I'm going to text this unit price as integer value, right? Then I'm going to change this number of unit also as integer. So number of units. Now you can do the same, right? Then what we want to do is total is equal var. Total is equal what? Unit price into number of units. That's it. Then you can do the same which I have done already, right? This is the thing you have to convert. Okay. So you can convert the same program which I have done earlier using this prompt box. Now you all can understand what is the purpose of the prompt box, right? Prompt box, we can use the prompt box to get the input from the end user, right? Instead of assigning the fixed value to the variable, we can use the prompt box to get the value from the end user, like a HTML form, right? What's the purpose of the HTML form? Get input from the end user, right? And another way to get the input from the end user, we can use the JavaScript prompt box also, right? So what are the other confirmation box? What are the other dialog boxes in JavaScript? Confirm box, alert box, prompt box, right? Yeah, what is the purpose of the alert box? If you want to display any alert message, you can use alert dialog box, right? Alert dialog box will be displayed only with the OK button. There is no cancel button. You have to click OK, right? Yeah, that means you have to accept that alert message, right? Then confirmation box, you can get confirmation from the end user whether you want to do this one or not. If they press OK, that means they are accepting this one to do the same thing, right? If they press cancel, that means they are rejecting it, right? Then you can write something if they press OK button, right? You can press another thing. You can write another thing if they press cancel button. So that is the difference between the alert box and the confirmation box. Now you can use the confirmation box. Say for example, if you create a delete button, suppose accidentally if they press the delete button, it will delete the record, right? So before you delete the record, you can just ask the confirmation again from the end user whether you want to delete, do you really want to delete this one or not, right? If they're sure about they want to delete it, you can delete it. That means if they press OK button, then you can write the delete code. For example, I'm telling you, right? If they press cancel button, they are not ready to delete the record. So you don't need to delete the record. Okay. So to get the confirmation from the end user, you can use the confirmation box. The last thing is prom box. You can use the prom box to get input from the end user. Okay. So shall we summarize the class? Okay. So today class about the conditional statement. Right? What are the conditional statements? Statement, that means single if, right? Single if. Single if else, then nested if. Single if only execute the true parts. It won't execute the false part. That means if the condition is true, statement will be executed. Otherwise, it won't do anything. If else means if the condition is true, statement 1 will be executed. If the condition is false, statement 2 will be executed. If you want to check more than one condition, you can use if else statement. That means if the condition is true, then you can execute the statement 1. If the first condition is false, if you want to check another condition, you can use if the condition is true this, else again if. That means if the condition is false, you can check another condition like this. If else, this else means the first condition is false. Then you can write the second condition. And if you want to write the third condition, again you can put else if, right? Where you can put else condition. If you don't want to check any condition after this, you can put else statement and you can put the statement for the else. Okay. So this is if statement, conditional statement, right? If else, and the nested if. The difference between the if else and the nested if is if else statement, if the first condition is false only, this will check the second condition, right? But nested if you want to check both conditions are true, you can use nested if. See the difference between the if else and the nested if. Say if, right? Condition statement, right? Else, you can check another condition, right? Another condition, sorry. You can check another condition. So already you know this one, just I am repeating this. Okay. Then like that you can check the conditions, right? Statement. Then you can put the statement, right? If the condition is false, this one. Again, if the condition is false, this statement will be executed, right? Right. But nested if means if condition, say condition, say put condition 1, condition 2, condition 3, else. Right? Statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, statement 4, right? Right. Here, I'm going to check if condition 1 is true, then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to check another condition. If condition 2. That means what? If the condition 1 is true, again I am checking condition 2, right? If the condition 1 and the condition 2 are true, statement 1 will be executed, right? So both condition must be true to execute this statement 1. Here, if condition 1 true, statement 1 will be executed. Then if the condition 1 false only, this will check the condition 2 here. But here I am checking both condition at a time, right? If condition 1 and condition 2 are true, the statement 1 will be executed. This is nested if statement. Okay, right. I will explain you the nested if statement in the next class, because if I teach you all together, then you will get confused. So if you have any doubt, please ask me. Any doubts in this class? Any questions? Any questions? Okay, so that's all today. So please go through the examples which I have done in the class. Then only you can continue the next class, right? So please
Okay,
go
miss.
through the example which I have done, right?
Okay.
And come to next class. Okay,
Okay,
see you all. Bye.
Thank you so much, Miss. God bless you.
God bless you.